Royal guards never kneel, not for cameras, not for crowds, but one did, in front of a little girl in a wheelchair. He broke every rule, not for tradition, but for love. It wasn't a royal event. No monarchs present, no parades, no rehearsed ceremony, just a small crowd, a little girl named Isla, and a man in a tall black bearskin hat who did something no one expected. This is the heartwarming true story of the royal guard who knelt. Not before power, but before courage. Isla Jensen was 8 years old, diagnosed with spinal muscular atrophy. She loved fairy tales, and she especially adored the Queen's Guard. They're like knights, right? She once told her mom, but real ones. Her dream, to see one in real life. Doctors weren't sure she'd make the trip, but in August 2024, her parents surprised her with a visit to London. They wheeled her up to the palace gates just before the changing of the guard. She held a stuffed unicorn, wore a tiny red jacket, just like the guards, and when she saw them line up, her eyes lit up. Especially at the sight of one particular guard, Sergeant Nathan Harker. Nathan had served 12 years, known for being stern, disciplined, emotionless. But he saw Isla from the corner of his eye. At first, nothing, until she did something small, but powerful. She raised her tiny hand, saluted him, just like the guards do, then smiled wide. He should have ignored it. That's what protocol says, but Nathan didn't. His rifle tightened, his breathing slowed, and something inside him cracked open. This isn't just duty, he would later say. This is presence. This is why we serve. The crowd began to notice. Isla's mother took out her phone, and that's when it happened. In the middle of formation, Nathan stepped out of line. Guards behind him tensed, but he didn't falter. He walked directly to Isla, stopped, and slowly lowered to one knee. The crowd gasped. Phones flew up. Isla looked confused, then smiled and reached forward. He took her hand gently. No words, just a moment that said, "I see you. I honor you." He stood, saluted her, then turned and marched back into line. The entire crowd erupted in applause. Isla whispered, "Mom, he knelt for me." The moment was caught on video. A passerby posted it that evening. Movie camera, Royal Guard breaks protocol, kneels for girl in wheelchair. In 24 hours, it hit 10 million views. News anchors called it the most beautiful moment in royal history. Comments flooded in. Speech balloon, real strength is in softness. Speech balloon, this is the England I believe in. Speech balloon, knighthood-worthy moment. The palace received thousands of letters asking to recognize Nathan, but when asked about it, he simply said, "She's the real one standing tall." Isla received a handwritten letter days later, from the Royal Regiment itself. Inside was a custom-sized red jacket with brass buttons, and a note, "Dear Isla, real guards don't need to stand. They just need to protect. You reminded us of that. Consider yourself an honorary member." Signed, Sergeant Nathan Harker. She wore that jacket to school every day for a week, even brought it to bed, and when asked what she wanted to be when she grew up, she said, "A guard. Or maybe a unicorn." Nathan never repeated the kneel, but every year, on August 12th, he pins a small white ribbon inside his glove. For the little girl who taught him that the most powerful posture is one taken in kindness. They said he broke protocol, but what he really broke was a boundary between tradition and compassion, between duty and heart. He didn't kneel to impress. He knelt because she deserved it.
vale, esto es el
You can't go on the line to right, the back side later. That's where we are taking market.
Okay. That's a big one. That's a 19
Woanders?
Padahal
Hả?
Dawaj, mamma.
Zaciągać, zaciągać.
sen de kimsin?
Vieni qua, dentro.
Panowie pilnują tutaj, tak stoją. Ale ja nie wiem, czy tam coś się opłaca.
Comment, I honor you, if this story made your heart full. Share this to remind the world that some rules are worth breaking, for the right reasons. Subscribe to Roy Vlogs for more inspiring stories behind the Royal Guard silence.